Keir Starmer, and the stories about freebies. Personally, what do you make of what you're hearing? Do you think it's damaging for your government at this stage to have all that going on?
Well, look, the story, though, is based on something that has been, like, in the public domain, that Keir Starmer has declared these things for over a year. So, look, yeah, you know, I think that anything that stops me talking about all of the work that we are doing in government to try and make things better for whoever it might be, of course, that annoys me, no doubt about it. However, I'm, you know... all I ever see from Keir Starmer and his number 10, which seems to be the topic of everybody's conversation at the moment, is them constantly getting on at me about making sure that I'm doing as much on violence against women and girls. Honestly, I feel like Keir Starmer is breathing down my neck about it.
Yeah, I'll take your point. I mean, we have spent most of the time talking about what you want to talk about, to be fair.
Yes, I'm not criticising you.
And I just wanted that thought from you about whether you think what's happening is damaging. I appreciate you say it's getting in the way, but it's not. It's a bit more than that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, of course, any story about any government that doesn't... I mean, mind you, it's always been the case since the beginning of time. But, like, you know, of course, what I'd much rather be discussing is the things that the government are doing, and also being robustly held accountable for the things that the government might be doing in policy for the people in our country, that is good or bad. That it's not that. It's just that I have to say this does seem like a bit of a distraction.
It has been suggested recently that the current media focus on Keir Starmer's freebies is less about corruption or cronyism and more about the media's grip over politicians. The question arises, who controls the narrative, the governing party or the journalists chasing sound bites? If the media were truly concerned about the corruption, they would have relentlessly pursued these stories when the Conservatives were in power. However, aside from Boris Johnson and his flats, the influence of millionaires, billionaires and big business over politicians was rarely scrutinised. Jess Phillips attempted to steer the conversation away from the topic of freebies but was met with continued questions. Phillips was asked about her views on the stories about Keir Starmer receiving freebies and whether she thought it was damaging to the government. She acknowledged that the items in question had been declared over a year ago and that the ongoing focus on these minor issues were frustrating. Phillips noted that it detracted from more important discussions about the government's work, including her efforts on violence against women and girls, a priority constantly emphasised by Starmer. Phillips pointed out that while such stories have always existed, this particular one felt like a distraction. She expressed frustration, stating that the media would continue to push the issue until they decided to move on. The deeper issue here, as Peter Jukes highlighted, is that the media seems more interested in controlling the narrative rather than holding the government accountable. While they now focus on small things like sunglasses, clothes and football tickets, the real scandal lies in the millions given to politicians in exchange for influence, which has been largely overlooked. The PPE contracts were a huge scandal, but the media barely addressed the underlying corruption behind them. Instead, they fixate on the smaller, less significant freebies, missing the large issue at hand. Ultimately, this appears to be more about entertainment than accountability. But let me know what you think. I've been Jay from Just Jake. See you next time. You actually made it to the end of the video. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, which, why haven't you already, is somewhere over there. And also, if you want to watch more videos, also check out over there. I've been Jake from Just Jake. See you later.